Nice and fella, ja. Riktig fint. Oj, Jakob!
Good morning, everyone. Goeiemorgen. Dumelang. By virtue of the power vested in me as Vice-Chancellor, I hereby constitute this congregation of the University of the Free State for the awarding of diplomas in the School for Financial Planning Law on behalf of the Faculty of Law. I therefore award diplomas to all the candidates the Director of the school will present to the congregation. In addition, I hereby award diplomas to those whose names appear in the program but who are not present here today. Please be seated.
Dumelang, Sanibonani, good morning, Goeiemorgen. I hope you're all well. It is my pleasure to welcome you to a glorious day and a most memorable occasion. It is a day I'm sure many of you dreamed of, and today that day has finally arrived. Firstly, it's my pleasure to acknowledge the presence of the Vice-Chancellor and Rector, Prof. Janssen, who will also conduct the official ceremony today, Vice-Rectors, the Registrar, Dr. Giffinger, and Dr. Karen Lazenby, the Deans of Faculty that are present here today, the Acting Campus Principal of the QuaQua Campus, Mr. Manchu, our academic staff and our support staff who are here to celebrate this wonderful occasion to you, as well as, of course, other distinguished guests. But more importantly, it is a privilege to welcome the parents, the friends, the relatives, neighbors, spouses, children of our graduandi today. But for us, it's most importantly to welcome with great pride our Kofsis to the celebration today. This is a special day for you, and I hope it's something that all you have dreamed of, and I trust that you'll enjoy today. So celebrate, enjoy it in style, and remember these moments. But just in case, as you walk across the stage in a trance-like form, you may not remember it. Remember, we've got our photographers who will capture every bit of it. In saying so, of course, the university, we use official photographers, and we suggest you use them, but we also allow freelance photographers to be part of the ceremony, but they are not accredited by the institution, so you're welcome to use them, but we have no control over them. Now, for those of you who arrived late, I just need you to refer to the page 2 of the graduation program. I think it's important that everybody hears the name of those who are graduating today. So keep your celebrations short so that you will not be a distraction when the next name is called upon. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my pleasure to call upon Professor Janssen to speak at this wonderful ceremony. Professor Janssen, please, sir.
Well, the reason they asked me to speak is that this is the second last graduation ceremony of the University of the Free State that I will attend, unless, of course, they offer me an honorary degree in the future. But I don't think that's going to happen, but it's a hint. So I am delighted, first of all, to welcome all of you to this very special day. Now, earlier this week, I walked from my office to the car at around 7 o'clock at night. it was already dark, and because this is South Africa, everybody else had already gone home. So as I walked towards the car, I noticed the movement of some figure to the left in the direction of the Humanities Building, and I couldn't quite see who it was, and suddenly this person started to run towards me. And when I looked up, of course, I realized this was a young student. I said to her, "Young lady, what is your name?" She said, "Ofense." I said, "Ofense, why are you still on campus? All the other students have already gone home for the holidays." She says, "Oh, Professor, I'm doing a rewrite." I said, "Oh, I'm sorry. Did you fail your modules?" "No, Professor, I didn't fail my modules. I got 82%. But I asked for a rewrite because I am better than 82%. At that moment, I realized my job here was done. It was time to move on. She understood one of the most fundamental things my team and I tried to convey to our students over the past 7 years, and that is that you're smarter than you think, you are smarter than other people think you are, and you are certainly smarter than the country tells you you are. You live in a country in which all of you are treated as idiots. We have become so used to low standards that we no longer know what a high standard is. We appoint complete idiots in the public sector, such as at the SABC, people who can't string together a single sentence in any language without looking foolish. And we've become so used to this very low standard of achievement. It is for us completely acceptable to switch on the television and see grown men and women fighting. We have become used to a low standard of decency, but also a low standard of attainment when it comes to academics. We are still the only country in the world that allows students to pass with 30 and 40% in the senior phase of high school. We are still the only country in the world that has a subject called life orientation, in which most schools' average mark is highest in that subject. We are still the only country in the world in which most of the students in schools write mathematical literacy, which is math for dummies, as opposed to serious mathematics. There's nothing wrong with our children's capacity to do mathematics. We teach them poorly and then tell them they're not good enough. And so what happens is, over the course of time, you begin to think you are only worth 30% or 40%. You begin to think you can only do mathematical literacy as opposed to real mathematics. And so you live in a country in which we are very much like the frog in the hot water. Now, those of you who did physiology will recall that there's a very simple experiment. If you want to boil a frog, and you throw the frog live into a pot of hot water, the frog jumps out. But if you put that frog in a pot of cold water, and you gradually raise the temperature, the frog stays right there and dies with a smile on his face, not realizing that the water was getting warm. In other words, he had acclimatized to the temperature around him. And your job as COFSI students is not to acclimatize to the temperature in the country. This is a country that prides itself on its ignorance. We're quite proud. In fact, a politician said the other day, "Look at how high I've gone and I haven't even finished high school. You can become like me." This is the kind of country we have become. And one of the things that I'm very, very proud of, the result of the work of the people on the stage and my professors, lecturers, and so on, is that they understood that here in the heartland of the country, we could in fact create a standard of attainment in academics that is better than what was expected. Now, of course, when we raised the entrance requirement, I remember very clearly, one of our political parties wrote me a letter. I'll never forget it. I won't say which political party it is if you're dumb. And they said, Professor, by raising the academic entry requirement, you are a racist. You are keeping out black people. I said, no, you, the bloody racist. Because you don't believe that black people can do just as well as any other people. You see, I am influenced by Steve Biko, the medical student, and Neville Alexander, the history and sociology student. I am influenced by people who, in the heat of apartheid, refused to accept the low standard of Bantu education as it was promulgated in 1953. In other words, they had an expectation that you would not be defined by government policy at the time. What do we do today? The complete opposite. Did you know that there is now, we're now the only country in the world that allows for automatic promotion in the senior phase? In other words, if you failed grade 10, you are not allowed to fail again in either grades 10 or 11. And so you have this unbelievable phenomenon in South Africa that we now have more and more students writing grade 12 who had not passed for 3 years. That's the kind of country we face. Universities are under exactly the same pressure. And when we raised the entrance requirement and our lecturers understood the commitment to teaching, we established a Center for Teaching and Learning. We put major money into tutors and development of students. We had created the South Campus before my time that allowed students who didn't come in directly to come in after a year or two in the university preparation program. And within a short period of time, our pass rate went up from 62% to currently 82%. Same students, different message. And so I want to say to each one of you here, you are smart. You are incredibly gifted. Do not succumb, do not give up and give in to the very low standard of expectation for academic attainment in this country of ours. Secondly, do not give in to the very low expectation when it comes to human behavior. You know, not a day goes past in which there's not another scandal. If it's not Penny Sparrow on the south coast of KwaZulu-Natal, it is Matthew Tennyson. If it's not him, it's Ntokozo Gwabe. If it's not him, it is Pastor Andre Olivier in the Santon Church. I'm getting tired of unvarnished racism on our campuses and in our country. There has to be a standard of attainment on the one hand, but also a standard of human decency on the other hand. How to be with your fellow brother and sister. And we struggle with that. We really do struggle. We struggle to respect women in our culture. There's not a day that goes by in which there's not another report of a sexual assault on one of the 25 public university campuses. How does that happen? How do you put your hand on somebody else without their permission? I don't get it. And so we have a very, very low standard when it comes to human decency, whether it's foreign nationals whose shops we burn, whether it is our disrespect for public property, whether it is our dis-ease with race relations, we struggle to be decent. And I want to say this to you, students, you can have top marks in financial planning law. But if you are uncomfortable with people who do not pray like you, look like you, make love like you when you're married, or come from where you do, then it doesn't matter that you've got good marks on the academic side if you're not decent as a human being. On Monday, a woman came to see me from a place I had never heard of before. She told me it's somewhere in South Africa, so I have to accept her word for that. The place sounded like Swaza Reineke or something like that. I don't know what kind of person names a place Swaza Reineke or something like that. Don't know if this was a person or what. Her name is Una, U-N-A, a white Afrikaans woman. Never met her in my life. And she came into my office and she said in Afrikaans, I hear you are leaving us. And I have a message for you today. So I said, welcome. I'm very busy today. I don't have a lot of time, but sit down and tell me what your message is. It was the best 10 minutes I've spent on this campus in 7 years. You know what she did? She looked me straight in the eye, and with tears rolling down her face, this is what she said. She said, "Professor, I want to apologize to you for whatever wrong we as white South Africans have done to you and to your family and to any other black person in this country. I just felt moved this morning to come and apologize for what we have done, and I am going to make it right by putting my time and my energy and my money into helping those who are disadvantaged." And then she reached her hands, 2 hands across the table, and she prayed for me. And fortunately, her eyes were closed so that she couldn't see the tears running down my face. And as a good South African man, by the time she opened her eyes, I made sure there were no more tears to be seen. You see, she'll get a degree, but she'll also get something much better, and that is a sense of decency, a sense of humility, a sense of compassion, a sense of understanding, not denial, understanding. And that's the kind of South African I want to work for and work with. That is the kind of human being I call a Kofi. Be blessed and enjoy this special day. Congratulations.
Thank you, Professor Jansen, for those inspiring words. Just to indicate, as Professor says, he's only leaving us. He's not going away to the land of the gods. So we'll bring him back here to speak on many, many more occasions to listen to this wonderful and inspiring person. Thank you very much again. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my pleasure to introduce our performing artist today. Cornél Muller is an acclaimed musician for both playing the cello and singing. As a soloist with the Free State University Choir, he has toured Egypt, Australia, Hungary, the Czech Republic. He has performed in a number of productions, which many of you might have seen, Beauty and the Beast, Andrew Lloyd Webber's music, The Best of Broadway, and of course at the Grey College Musical Festival. He has performed for the likes of Archbishop Desmond Tutu and his wife Leah Tutu, Professor Martha Minow, and Oprah Winfrey, amongst others. He obtained his degree in integrated marketing communication at the University of Free State, and he is currently working as the operational director of Urban Hotels. Now, of course, with him we have a surprise, a man that you normally hear talks and inspires you with his words, and he criticizes and he's very frank about things. But today he's going to use his fingers. And Cornél will be accompanied by Prof. Jansen on the piano. Cornél and Prof. Jansen, thank you very much.
If I can help somebody as I pass along, if I can cheer somebody with a word or song, if I can show somebody how they traveling wrong, then my living shall not be in vain. Oh, then my living shall not be in vain. Then my living shall not be in vain. If I can help somebody as I pass along, then my living shall not be in vain. If I can do my duty as a good man ought, if I can bring back beauty to a world abroad, if I can spread love's message as the Master taught, then my living shall not be in vain. Oh, then my living shall not be in vain. Oh, then my living shall not be in vain. If I can help somebody as I pass along, then my living shall not be in vain.
Wonderful, absolutely beautiful. Proof enough that operational directors can sing and vice chancellors can play the piano very well. Give them another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Cornel, and thank you, Prof. Janssen. It is now my pleasure to call upon the Director of the School of Financial Planning Law, Advocate Ireland, who will, on behalf of the Faculty of Law, present the candidates for diplomas of the School of Financial Planning Law. Thank you very much. Advocate Ireland, please.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I hereby have the privilege to request you to award the following diplomas to the candidates I introduce to you. The Advanced Diploma in Trust and Estate Administration, die gevorderde diploma in boedel en trust administrasie. Karstens K. The Postgraduate Diploma in Financial Planning. Ali E. Bielefeld AJ. Boetus J. Boetus PFC. Botha S. Brink D. Bronkhorst J.A. Brown S. Bildeo S. Sele AC. Chakrughun S. Chetai NC. Cronje, B.J. Cronje, M. And the diploma with distinction. Any diploma met lof. Kraus, W.J. Dupree, W. Fernando, E. Ferrara, N. Fouchier, D. Fraser, UB. Freaks, HA. Governor, NV. Harris, R. Hlongwa, S. Himan, M. Jansen van Vieren, D. Jarrett, B.D. Hubert, P.J. Kom maar gaan. Jung Bahadur, R. Keruane, K.S. Koning, F.F. Kritzinger, C.A. Kunene, K. Loubser, N. Leroux, A.D. Lensuane, N.P. You must look that way for the photo. Levi, J. Liebenberg, C. Lottering, A. Lou, M. Ludik, L. Luvengu, D.P. Makubela, C.C. Maritz, V.J.G. Masikani, N.T. Matoma T. Matthews TNL. Babambu M. Mankies R. Mohale MS. Moody EM. Miller P. Mungandi SN. Naidu C. Nal R. Njoba S. Norval M. Willifier C. E. Olofsen SL. Overton AM. Pete V. Peter JT. Pieterse E. Pillay RV. Rampele MJ. Robert B. DJ. Rogers HJJ. Selela NS. Shabangu TT. Singh A. Sarur CR. Stein M. Stein S. J. Loloe Pierre. Trapshaw C. Van der Bank R. Van der Merwe CI. Van Dijk 4R. Van Wyk GP. Venter HC. Weinstein JS. Wilkins E. Woest D. Yard Levitt JW. The Advanced Postgraduate Diploma in Financial Planning, die gevorderde nagraadse diploma in finansiële beplanning. Hubert MG. What's your name, sir? Mafulela. And your initial? B. Mafulela B. Marakala MN. Mente M. Nkala M. Trudeau SA. Van der Walt T. Zwalula S. Ladies and gentlemen, it then gives me great pleasure to introduce to you our top achievers in all three our diplomas, the postgraduate diploma, the advanced postgraduate diploma in financial planning, and the advanced diploma in trust and estate administration. I also want to just abuse this opportunity to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all the sponsors without which this would not be possible at all. So thank you very much to each of you. The top student in the Financial Planning Environment module, LFP E5800, the prize sponsor is Alpha Centauri Advisory Services. It's handed over by Mr. Percy Menduzi, and the prize winner is Mr. P. Miller. Our next prize is in the module Personal Financial Planning. The prize sponsor is PSG. It's handed over by Johan. Our prize winners is Mrs. M. Cronje. There was a tie in this module with Ms. D.C. Kalberger. She's unfortunately not able to be here today. Our next prize is in the module Corporate Financial Planning. This prize is sponsored by Liberty and handed over by Johannes Stron. The prize winner is again Mrs. M. Cronje. Sorry. She studies faster than what she walks. Our next prize is in the practical case study. This prize is also sponsored by Liberty Life and handed over by Mr. Bertie Haasbroek. The winner, or the prize winner in this case, is Mrs. L. Ludik. We had a joint prize winner in this module as well, Mr. A.L. Mallet. Unfortunately, he's not able to be with us today. Ladies and gentlemen, then the prize winners in the Advanced Postgraduate Diploma in Financial Planning. Our first prize is sponsored by Alexander Forbes. Unfortunately, we're not able to have a representative from Alexander Forbes here today. We've thus asked Professor Nicholson from the Dean of the Faculty of Law to hand over the prize on behalf of Alexander Forbes, and the prize winner in this case is Mr. B. Mafulela. The next module is personal risk management. The prize sponsor is Old Mutual and handed over by Stefan Stander. The prize winner in this module is D.M. McCarthy. Unfortunately, Mr. D.M. McCarthy is not available today, and the prize will be accepted by Dr. Liesel Alsem-Geest on behalf of the School for Financial Planning Law. Next module is asset types and investment planning. The prize sponsor in this regard is CBS Financial Planning. The person handing over is Mr. Thuniel MacDonald. The prize winner is J.M. Bredenkamp. Again, Mr. Bredenkamp is not available today to be with us today, but Henda Steyn from the school will accept the prize on his behalf. The next module is Principles of Portfolio Planning and Management. The prize is sponsored by Axis. Unfortunately, a representative from Axis was not able to be with us today. Again, we've asked Professor Nicholson, the Dean of the Faculty, to hand the prize over. The recipient of the prize is Mr. J.W. van Heestien. Unfortunately, Mr. van Heestien was not able to be with us today, but we've asked Rika van Zyl to accept the prize on behalf of Mr. van Heestien. The last prize in the Advanced Postgraduate Diploma in Financial Planning is that of estate planning. The prize sponsor is Momentum and handed over by Mr. André Skuman. The recipient of the prize is again Mr. D.M. McCarthy. Mr. Dean McCarthy was not able to be with us today, and we've asked Liesel Alsem-Geest to accept the prize on his behalf again. Then lastly, ladies and gentlemen, the overall top achievers. For the first time in history, the best student in the Advanced the Advanced Diploma in Trust and Estate Administration is Mr. J.C. Null. Unfortunately, Mr. Null could not be here. Our prize sponsor in this regard is LexisNexis, and we've asked Chantal van der Walt to hand the prize over to Henda Steyn from the School for Financial Planning Law. Then the best overall student in the Postgraduate Diploma in Financial Planning, Mrs. M. Grenier. The prize sponsor in this regard is also LexisNexis, and handing over the prize again, Chantal van der Walt. And then the overall top achiever in the Advanced Postgraduate Diploma in Financial Planning is Mr. Dean McCarthy. He's unfortunately not available today. Again, the prize sponsor is LexisNexis, handed over by Chantal van het Walt, and I'll ask Dr. Liesel Asemgees to accept the prize on his behalf. Thank you very much.
Now, that is the shortest graduation ceremony we have had in the history of the university. Congratulations to all of you, especially to those of you who have won awards. That is amazing. I'm always envious of you getting awards because, and I always used to be irritated as a primary school child because of the student who you had to keep coming up for awards. You know that student. You know, you get 2 or 3 and you can't balance it as you walk home. The only award I ever got at school was for tuck shop duty. So we are very proud of you and very proud of your accomplishments. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the proceedings for this morning. The university takes great pleasure in inviting you for coffee, tea, and juice in the Van der Merwe Scholz Hall, which is going that way to the west of campus. We will shortly rise to sing the national anthem, which will be led by Yanni Marais, one of our first-year students, so that is fantastic, and accompanied by an ensemble directed by Mrs. Juanita Alt. After that, you will please remain standing while the congregation is dissolved and until the main and academic processions have left the hall. Please rise for the singing of the national anthem. That was also the softest rendition of the national anthem ever sung. You always know when there are no Methodist students graduating. Yeah. By virtue of the power invested in me as Vice-Chancellor, I hereby dissolve this congregation of the University of the Free State.